Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're canning up mushrooms and I figured I'd bring you guys along for the entire process. So washing the mushrooms, getting them clean, cutting them up, everything. This is how I do mine. Now for canning the whole mushrooms, I have 10 of these containers, which is 5 pounds in total. As you can see, they're pretty dirty. We're going to get them nice and cleaned up. And these mushrooms, they were 97 cents. Yes, I can't pass that up. I had to get them when they're that cheap. Now I've filled it with water and I'm putting lemon juice in. I soak my mushrooms in cold water and lemon juice for about 10 minutes. And I keep massaging them around, banging them around, cleaning them up. Every time I walk past them, do the same motion, knead the water, I guess you would say, to get them nice and clean. Transport. Okay, he's gone by now. Okay, so what I do is I just do this. This helps loosen any dirt, manure, sod, whatever could be on these mushrooms. I found this is the best way. And let me tell you, the color of that water is absolutely disgusting by the time you're done. So here we go, getting everything clean. Now what we're going to do, on to the next step, which is draining them off and then rinsing them yet again. I clean my mushrooms a lot when I can mushrooms. Why? Because mushrooms are spores. I want them to be as clean as possible when I can them. So that way I have no risk of anything being in that canner other than the mushrooms. And whatever spices I may add. Because you know me, I add my spices. Not really, not when I can mushrooms. But you're going to see that. So anyway, so rinse, rinse, rinse. Now if anyone wonders where I got this strainer from, I got it at Dollarama. Cost me $4. It's very nice. I may end up by getting the second one. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure I have everything off of them. Like as you can see already, these mushrooms are much cleaner. I don't use a brush on them. I know some people do. I don't. I just use my hands. I use the brush I was born with, my hands. It works good for my hair, so why not my mushrooms when I'm cleaning them? The only time I use a brush is when I'm scrubbing potatoes. But anyway, so here we go. On to the next step. Cutting. We're just going to chop these up. Now, I try and make them as uniform as I can. And for those people who are going to tell me, why don't you use an egg slicer? It works amazing. Okay, yeah, I did that once. I broke the egg slicer. Now, I have thought about getting one of the metal ones, but then you know what? That's as far as it's gone. I have knives. I have enough kitchen junk as it is. I do not need to add to it. So we're just going to chop these. Slice and slice. That's it. And you know what? It makes it so it's like home canned, like it is. Not everything is uniform when you do it yourself. Like you can see how clean these mushrooms are. Like look at that. Those are gorgeously clean. Like come on. Yes. Best way to clean them. But guess what? We're not done. We're going to rinse them one more time. Why? Because there could be something left over. So we're going to rinse them again. And yeah. And that's it. This is the last time I clean them. I promise. Promise. This is the last time I clean them. So we're rinsing under running cold water. Well, it's kind of mid-cold because my hands can't handle cold, but mid-cold. Oh, canner's done. Got to turn it off. Okay, back to the mushrooms. Get it cleaned up. And at this point, I'm fairly satisfied that they're clean. Now, I must have not recorded the part before this. I don't know, but hey, we'll go with it. What I do is I put them in a pot, I fill it with water, and then I boil them for, it's normally like 10 or 15, 20 minutes, something like that, 10 to 20 minutes. I know the book says like 5 minutes, but I like them darn near cooked. So in that way, when I pack them in the jar, I can get as many as possible in that jar. As you can see, like I'm stuffing it pretty good. And I got 11 jars, if I remember right. I can't remember. We're going to see in the end. And don't worry, those jars that you see in front of me while I'm canning there, don't worry, you're going to see the video on that soon. I'm just trying to do this in sequence. Well, not really, because I can the other stuff first. But anyway, this makes more sense in my head for showing you guys videos. So we're packing the jars as tight as I can. And I haven't dumped the liquid out of there. Oh, no, no, no. That broth is gold. It's gold, people. Don't dump it. Don't dump that down the drain. No, that stuff is delicious. Okay, but anyway, so we're still filling those jars. Now, I have added no salt to the water, the cooking liquid. I've added nothing. And as you're going to see, I add no salt, spices, anything to my mushrooms. Why? So in that way I can use them for whatever I want to use them for. They're not just designated to one thing. That's the one thing I hate when I see, like, or people ask me why don't I put certain things in, or why don't I try different things? Because then that particular item, like that entire canner load, is designated for that particular thing. Whereas I don't like that. I like having the options to use things for different items. If that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that makes sense. Makes sense in my head. I think we're coming up to the last jar. I think. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to get my ladle once I remember where I put it. In there. And you don't even use a full ladle full of liquid. And yes, there is an inch of headspace, guys. I know it doesn't look like it. I think it's the angle of the camera. I'm using my new tripod. I'm going to have to work on the angles for this thing. But there is an inch of headspace. Actually, you can tell with some of them. But anyway. So we're going to get that as full as possible. And I'm going to turn that back on. Why? You're going to see in a second. Because you're getting a little bonus video in this video. We're going to make onion stock. Or onion broth. I think it's technically broth. Or stock. I can never remember the difference between the two. Oh, see, gotta get it perfect. Gotta get it perfect. Precision. Okay. Now we are going to wipe the rims. Get them squeaky clean. Now this is something I've noticed while watching and editing my videos, and I watch other people's canning videos. Everybody goes in a circle. Whereas I go half one side, half the other side. I don't know. How do you guys do it? Do you guys go around the whole jar in one fell swoop? Or do you do like I do and go half and half? Now you're thinking, how do I do it? Because you never pay attention. Now you will. Okay, just so you guys know, yes, that jar is piping hot. Now, don't do this if you don't have a steady hand. I do have a steady hand, so I'm quite lucky I can do this. What I do is I grab the lid, I place it on top of the jar, I give it a quick spin, and then I lift it and I place it into the mat there in order so I can grab onto both and not burn myself. It works for me. It might not work for everybody. It works for me. So if it's not going to work for you, just don't even do it. Okay, so now we're going to get into the bonus video here. I think I'm talking to somebody. So I'm adding some vegetable stock. Yes. Okay, this is, it's Foddy Foods vegetable stock. It's onion and garlic free. It's great stuff. Then we're adding some black pepper. And what else do I add? I don't even remember, guys. I know I add salt. That I remember. Or did I add salt to this one? That day I canned 2 different things. As you can see. I'm just trying to remember which is which. Okay, so there's no salt. Not yet. Oh, because I wanted to see if it needed salt after I added the stock. I'm pretty sure it needed salt if I remember right. Because there is salt in that vegetable stock that I had used. Let's see. Did I get the salt? Yes, I got the salt. Canning salt. There's the perfect measuring cup right there, guys. A hand. That's about a tablespoon. Now, instead of using my ladle as a spoon, I'm going to use the spoon to stir it. Because, yes, that makes more sense. stirring it, getting it all broken up. Now we're going to taste it. And guys, I use a clean spoon every time. If I'm not using it, sometimes, yes, I do use the same spoon. But guess what? I wash it off in between. Sorry, the amount of comments I get on that is ridiculous. Okay, so now we're going to can this up. This is going to go into the canner with the mushrooms. Why? Because I'm going to can it for 45 minutes, the same as the mushrooms themselves. Why? Because it just makes sense. It makes sense, complete sense. The canner wasn't full, and I had this beautiful, glorious stock that I was going to use, and I will use. For what? I don't know yet, because the possibilities are endless. I do know, though, that this makes amazing gravy, and it also makes amazing stock for making roasts. And yes, I have children, so I got pulled away from something, and I forgot to edit this part out. My daughter is getting the dog food for the dog. Okay, now back to what I was doing. Canning. I completely forgot about that while I was editing this video. I'm like, oh yeah, nothing else happened in the video. I don't need to edit anything else out. Yep. Anyway. You notice how I skipped a beat there because something else happened? Yeah, anyway. Okay, so we're going to pop those into the canner. You know, wipe the rim, put a lid on it, put a ring on it. No, it's not, now it's not a single lady anymore. And it goes into the canner. Okay, into the canner. I completely forgot about that while I was editing this video. Oh well. Okay. And again, I was doing stuff while I was canning, so I got a little overpressure. That's okay. 11 pounds pressure, 45 minutes. Then we take the lid off, the weight off, 5 minutes. Crack open the lid, 5 minutes, and then open the canner. And you will get your whatever it is you're canning, but in this case I got broth and mushrooms. And you see that the other jars are gone? Yes, because I moved them. They're on the table. Well, now they're down in my pantry, but they're on the table at this precise moment while I'm canning these things. So we got 6 jars of glorious broth. Or was it 7? I don't know. Let's see. We got 6. Oh, 7. 8. Oh. Ooh. 9. Oh, 9. Look at that. Oh. Okay, 9.5. We got 9.5 jars of glorious broth that will be used for cooking roasts, soups, making gravies, you know, whatever you want. Okay, and then we have 11 jars of glorious home canned mushrooms that truly have nothing in them other than mushrooms and water. That is it. Because you don't need to add salt. Salt is a flavoring in this case. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the little add-on video. It wasn't enough for its own video, so I figured I'd push it in this video too. So when you clean your mushrooms, make sure you're cleaning them very well, because remember, it is a spore. You want it to be clean when you can it, so in that way you have no risk of anything happening. And then don't dump that water. Save that water, because that water is glorious and delicious. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you again pretty soon.